Look, I usually don't do this, but today I'm going to pull back the curtain on what actually happens inside my VIP 101 group. Okay, this is the same private group where my students are catching thousands of dollars in the market each and every single week, and you're going to get access to this for free. Okay, this is going to be the exact breakdown of what they see and what some of them have done in order to pass funded challenges. Okay, this week alone inside the group, we caught about 18,000 points across the board, and you can make sure you can check our group for the receipts. With BTC, we caught about 13,000 points, NOS 100, 4,600 points, SPX 609 points, and with gold about 67 points, and then also with USD CAD just about 50 pips. That's 17,900 points and 49 pips in just 1 week alone, following the exact system and psychology you're about to watch in this video. And here's the crazy part. What you're about to see is a real VIP Q&A session, completely unfiltered, where I break down the exact blueprints I use, how I analyze the markets, and most importantly, the psychology that you need to have in order to be consistent in the markets that all my students use. So grab a notebook and pay attention, because if my students can catch thousands of points in the market each and every single week, you're going to learn exactly how they were able to do it and how we're able to help them do the same thing. Now, let's get straight into it. All right, guys, does anybody have any specific questions here? You guys kind of understand how this goes. So does anybody have any specific questions here from obviously call this week? I did get into some shorts, made a quick 5K, cashed out on some of the gold trades that I was in. I do have one pending right now, but I do believe that gold might move to the upside just a little bit, which is why I kind of got out. So I'm in currently one gold sell, but I cashed out the majority of my sells here. Looking for, I would say, the Asian range and obviously London to have its swipe of liquidity. Hopefully it can move up and we can look for more shorts. So does anybody have any specific other questions here? Any questions about the trading today, about the program, anything that I could help you guys get to the next level here? Do you guys have any questions here?
I got a quick question.
What's going on, Juan?
Hey, so this morning you were on the Dixie chart, and if I remember right, you said that Dixie was going to probably keep going up. So with that being said, we should expect markets to trail down. But how far, given that these other reports, the government reports that may or may not be coming out, are likely to be very dismal?
Yeah. So this morning, I called some buys here on Dixie. I wanted to wait for price to come a little bit lower to kind of see Dixie come a little bit lower here than where it was at 8, 9 o'clock, because I already saw it shooting up. And then it kind of went down, but not completely to this zone, only to this zone here. It went to the order block. If you can actually see it on lower time frame structure, you see that? Came here, went to the order block, mitigated, and then shot back up to the upside. So
Yeah.
when Dixie goes to the upside, that's bad for markets, right? So I kind of called that today. You know, I did say we were going to short with SPX today, and it happened. And now we're actually even in the zone that I was kind of talking about here. What's kind of nuts here was I didn't take today. I should have. Because this right here, look at that. Like, this was one of the easiest trades you could call out, right? You have right here the indecision, the 50% area, and you have the retracement and the break of the Asian range, and then a sell-off here. This is one of the easiest trades of the week. Wow, what an incredible trade. I called the sell here to this zone. And I mean, I made a lot of money on gold here, but I probably could have made another 5 grand just selling SPX this morning, because this was a really good trade. But I knew that SPX would go down because Dixie's bullish here. And now you're seeing everybody talking about a potential recession and all this stuff. We predicted this in January of this year. Like, everybody already, like, Dixie will always run to the upside at the end of the year. It'll always make a recovery. So everything else is going to get hit. Crypto is going to get hit. SPX is going to get hit. Everything's going to get hit because of it, right? Makes sense?
Yes, thank you.
Cool. Do you have any questions? Okay. Brandon, do you have a question here?
Yeah, I was saying that then hearing that the shutdown's probably going to end right after the elections, there was just a stance until then. Do you think the markets will bounce right back up after that, or it will still stay down because we don't have accurate data?
So with the government shutdown, this is actually probably one of the most interesting, I would say, things about the government shutdown because, so check this out. This is what's important. With the government shutdown, okay, remember the key dates that I was talking about? It was these over here. Hold on. I think I spoke about this in the last call. It's been shut down for 34 days. So it's now day 30, 32. SNAP benefits. That was a big thing here. Okay. That was a huge thing because that's like food stamps. I think 44 million people in America are on food stamps, which I think is absurd. But hey, it just, food stamps actually isn't a good thing. It's a bad thing. It contributes to inflation, which creates even a more bigger divide on America and making the poor poorer. But hey, yeah, Brandon, 100%. We live in like the wealthiest country on the planet. The average income in Europe is 600 bucks a month. In South, no, 600 to 1,000 a month. In South America, 600 bucks a month. In Africa, 300 a month. And in Asia, 600 to 1,000 a month. The average income in America is like 2 to 3K a month. It's the richest country in the entire world. I've been around the world, guys. I've been to 35 countries. There's no better country than the United States. We are stupid, fat, and rich for a reason. If you think you're poor or you have a bad environment here, you have absolutely no idea how the rest of the world looks like because the rest of the world looks like not like America. So everybody just abuses the system here. Day 33, let's look at this. Trump administration said, so by the end of today, it will be the largest shutdown in history. Well, in December of 2018, the shutdown sets a record for the longest government shutdown, November 5th. Centers for Medicare and Medicaid services could run out of Medicaid funding. So now, and then you also have the influence over what is it, like the voting system? A lot of federal workers, right, aren't even going to be getting paid. So like a lot of the elections, yeah, New Jersey, New York, and Virginia are either postponing it or they're going to continue with the election. So because we have no Forex news because of the government shutdown, I'm expecting once the government shutdown comes into play, NFP news will be ridiculously bad and it will when the government shutdown ends, it'll create a pullback in the market. Like the markets will run and rally because they're going to announce that they're going to print 2 trillion to 3 more trillion. But then it'll create a fall again in markets. And the reason why is because the news will be so bad. The NFP news reports, the job report market will be so bad that Wall Street's going to wake up and say, "Oh, this is going to the shitter. We need to dump stocks now." And I'm pretty sure the people that are dumping right now already know that. So that's my thought process here. Anybody else have any other questions here?
Hey John, how's it going?
What's going on, boss? How are you?
Good. I got one quick question. I was just wondering, do you think that I was looking at Bitcoin futures, do you think that it'll go up to that 4 hour indecisional before moving back down?
BTC futures.
Yeah.
Okay, let me look at BTC first, and I'm gonna take a look at BTC futures. I'm actually out of my BTC short. I'm kind of pissed because it literally went to 90. Wow, it's at 99K right now. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm actually excited for this because it'll probably close here. Hopefully it closes here on the daily on the next day. But I think by tomorrow it'll come here. It'll swipe this zone here. It'll come back here and then retrace. So this 8 hour indecision is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Possibly this, but this was already kind of been mitigated here, and that would be a huge like uptick of 12%. I mean, it's not impossible, but I actually want to start buying Bitcoin here. The reason why is I think we're going to have a huge wick, and then potentially if the US economy is going to start printing money again, then it's just going to be a wick and this thing can be the bottom and then it's going to move to the upside. That's a potential, like a real potential. Because again, like I'm predicting Bitcoin to drop, but I'm not predicting the bear market here. What I actually believe can happen, and this is a real possibility, is price wicks here, swipes liquidity, but doesn't close below this price zone. And then what will happen is it'll start moving to the upside again. And then if it does decide to turn around, it'll mitigate here and then really, really take a dip. So my thought process here is that it actually is probably going to move lower here. But if it does break that zone that I believe it's going to come back at least here, 4 hour indecision here, 104, 103. And that'll be an external sell, external selling zone. I think it already came up to an internal indecision if you look at it, right? Like really, like right here. What was it mitigating right now? Yeah, this like internal indecision. Or just swipe in some liquidity now. So that's where I believe price is gonna go. Make sense?
Yep.
Cool.
Appreciate it, man.
Got you, bro. Any other questions, guys?
Are we supposed to get ADP tomorrow and
I think
ISM?
I think we are, bro.
Yeah,
So
because it doesn't say tentative, so I think we're getting it.
I think we will get NFP tomorrow. Oh, ADP for sure. ADP non-farm employment change. I think we will get it. This is actually good news. This is actually really good. Like 32. It's not good news, like great news, but it's not terrible. It's not like negative, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, this is ridiculously bad, but I would assume so that what's going to happen is it's probably going to, if it comes out higher, so this is what's going to happen. If this number comes out higher than expected, like let's say tomorrow it's above 32, markets most likely are going to, we have no more rate cuts coming at all. So hold on, let me see. Let me look at rate cuts. We might actually have one more rate cut. Okay, so there is a possibility that this actually, okay, so this is some good news. If this thing comes out way higher than expected, it would be good for the job market, but that means we're most likely not going to get a rate cut, which would mean markets would dip. If this is really bad, like negative 32, markets will start rallying. And it's just because of the probability of a rate cut. Does that make sense, guys?
Yep, definitely.
Cool. I mean, I'm going to be looking and trading that tomorrow. So not all at once, guys. Yeah, let's look at USD CAD. Okay, cool. Let's see. Oh my God, man. USD CAD is crazy right now. Did you take the buy from yesterday and this morning? Oh my God, Lucas. Bro, drop your results, man. I hate you guys sometimes. You guys don't drop your results. Look at the trade setups that I'd be giving out, man. This went exactly where we called it this morning. Did you see that? Like, you can't even get any better than this trade. This trade was like, oh my God, I could have made so much money today. Sometimes, guys, I don't even like, how do I say this? Like, I don't even know. Like, I'd like to trade, like, I'll give out a really good SPX trade. I'll give out a really good USD CAD trade. But if you guys notice, I'll sometimes only look at gold, or I'll only trade Bitcoin, or sometimes I'll just trade a little bit of SPX. And the reason why is because it's not because I don't want to take all the trades. It's just because for my mental sanity, I'll take one or two and that's it. And I know that the other ones will execute. I'll just pick one or two, guys. And it's because I keep my mental sanity. I'll swing it and I don't really care about it later, you know? So, wow, USD CAD was an incredible trade today. Wow, like you can't get any better than that. And it went exactly to the fib level. Notice that. Take profit, Lucas, right? Because this thing right here came back down to the mitigation area, and then look at what it did. It hit the 2.618, and now it's selling off from that area. So I would get out of this. Take some profits, wait for a pullback by tomorrow. This thing's going to pull back, mitigate, and then start extending to the upside. USD CAD again is cutting rates. It's a lot lower than expected. So this thing right now is going to run. Okay. That's what I'm looking for, guys. Any other questions? This is what I'm looking for a re-entry potentially on USD CAD. You could swing it, Lucas. You could keep some if you want long term. But yeah, this is what I'm looking for, a re-entry on USD CAD. Internal buys. Let's look at NAS. It finally filled the gap. Yeah, let's take a look at it right now. Let's take a look at it. NAS futures or NASDAQ 100 futures. Okay, let's take a look at it, guys. Okay. Wow, I thought this thing was going to actually potentially come here first. Give me 1 second, guys. Wow. Holy God, SPX is dropping even more. You know, I knew SPX would drop here, but I didn't know that it was going to be, wow. Crypto bros are crying right now. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. We got to go off higher time frame here. These lows are going to be targeted. Because these lows are going to be taken out, there's a lot of liquidity standing right here. Those lows are going to be taken out, completely taken out. We're probably going to get a mitigation here on external structure. Again, you guys, I don't like to trade during Asian or London. I don't. I don't. Even if I miss the move, I don't really care. Okay. But because SPX looks like it'll probably mitigate here, I'll wait till tomorrow morning. NAS is probably going to come back down to either this zone or the safest bet, just because the buying and selling pressure really isn't here for that indecision. I feel like it could break through very quickly, right? So because there's not enough buying and selling pressure there, this thing is very weak. Very, very weak. Okay. I would aim more for NAS here. What I think could happen to SPX, it's going to get wicked out and then it's going to come back here like that and then potentially move, mitigate here, and then make another low. That's the first scenario. Second scenario is it'll wick, come back up here, and then close above structure, come back down, and then move to the upside. Okay. But this is going to be the pullback, so we can make money on the pullback regardless, or the bottom of a long-term structure. The reason it's important to know what happens here, and I don't want it to break this zone or this zone, because if it starts to break this here tomorrow and this, we're in trouble. And the reason we're in trouble with that is because this right here on the daily is a very strong point. You do not want to see this break the daily zone. You do not. If it starts to break that daily impulse move, that means this is a shift in structure. And that means SPX could come all the way down here. And we're going to see a lot of bleeding in the markets. A lot. So that's why I'm very confident that we should see some jump here. And if we do, we should see potentially NAS to come down here, run and rally. Most importantly, if we're looking at NAS futures, NAS futures looks completely different. Look for the buy here tomorrow morning. NAS futures, this actually gives you an easy way to oh, my bad. I was on the wrong chart. This is where I would buy NAS futures right there, that candle tomorrow morning, then see an extension. We break that area here. We have a lot of trouble there, not a tight stop, because the reason why we will have a lot of trouble there, that on NAS futures is a very, very, very sensitive area because it's where the daily is. So if we break that, this is a really good daily zone. We have a really good risk reward because if price ends up moving to the upside here, right? If price moves up, like let's say to the 1 point, even if we go to the 2.168, which is what I think we're going to go towards, this right here is going to be a 1 in 11 trade, easily a 1 in 11. So for us to move to the upside here, it's going to be very, very beneficial. And again, it's going to be on a daily zone. But if we do break and we have a close below, it's a low risk because it's a 1 in 11. And then it'll come back up. And then we're going to sell this thing for the downside because it's breaking daily structure. So I would start looking for buys on NAS right on this zone here, this daily structure, or this 4-hour order block. That 4-hour order block is what's going to help us. Any other questions?
Could you go back to gold? I know you were saying you pointed at an area that it would probably go back up to. Do you? I think it was on the one or the 2-hour. I was just trying to see if it was a sell or a buy. I was trying to remember. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, I'm already out of gold, been out of gold. Kind of already closed the trades here. But what I would say here is this thing, one thing I don't like about it is that it didn't close below that low. So because of that, it'll probably come here, mitigate, or come back here, mitigate, and then either close below that low. So that's why it's just like, I didn't really like that too much about it. But again, it's in the Asian range. So right now, tomorrow, it could very well just create a range and then sell off. That's like tomorrow, it can mitigate here, this zone. There's definitely a mitigation zone, then start to sell off by tomorrow. Or it could do this, come back up, mitigate here, and then start to sell off tomorrow. The range is very, very, very important because even today, see how gold sold off here at like 9:30 a.m. You thought the move was over. I was running and I saw this and I was like, wow, can you believe that? Like I called this zone in the morning. I thought the move was going to be over. So I just looked at my phone and I'm like, okay, this is right in that indecision area that we talked about, right? So I was like, oh, this is an easy sell. So then I just started selling. And that's where we ended up here. And then I started taking some profits here. Make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
That's why I don't trade London or sometimes Asian all the time because I like to have the move kind of already made and distinguished. So just so I can trade the reaction of the range. Make sense?
Yeah, total sense. Got you.
Cool. Anybody else have any other questions?
John, what's going on, brother? It's Vic. How are you?
What's going on, Vic? How are you, bro?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Can't complain. So I got a question, right? Sometimes, you say to wait at 10 o'clock in the morning for the reversal. I know it's not exactly 10 o'clock because like today, I took sales on gold and I came up a couple $100, but it was like a little bit later on, past 10, like I don't know, like probably 11 or so. I don't even know what time it was. And I
Yeah,
wrote it out up until like 3
11.
o'clock.
Yeah, 11, 11:20 sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wrote it out up until what I think it was like 3 o'clock, and it was good. Like I forgot about it, and then I went back to look at it. I'm like, oh crap! But I was paying attention to it since 10 o'clock. So when you say 10 o'clock, when you wait for that candle to finish, like you just still have to like watch it and see how it still reacts, or can you just
So
go off that
sometimes
10 o'clock?
Sometimes what you'll notice is at like 8 or 7:30, 8 o'clock, the fake out, the move will break out, like the fake move. Then 9 o'clock, it'll usually like start to rally or drop.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 10 a.m., like around that time, around 10 a.m., it's almost exactly sometimes. Sometimes it's a little bit like maybe 10 minutes earlier or 15 minutes earlier, 10, 15 minutes after 10 a.m. That'll start the quick reversal. But if we're already in a downtrend, then regardless, you can catch the reversal on 10 a.m. on like, let's say this is where the buy would be. But if we're in a reversal, it's not smart to trade the 10 a.m. candle. So what you would do is you would just wait for obviously the turnaround or the sell. Now,
Okay.
one thing, and like especially here, you see how like at 10 a.m. like it was bearish and it was the bottom of the bearish candle for the reversal, right? The absolute
Yeah.
bottom was right here. So the thing about it is you also want to see some sort of mitigation. 10 a.m. and trading with time is just one of the 5 things that I look for. The other thing is what? The Asian range aligning. Okay. And then also the institutional candle and then trading with structure. Right. So if we look at this here, what does the indecisional, where is the indecisional candle in here? There really isn't none, so this area here at 10 a.m., there is no indecision candle really. I mean, if you really look down, there isn't one at exactly 10 a.m. It doesn't really mitigate one. Maybe you could say this one, actually. Is this 10 a.m.? No, it's 10:15. So at 10 a.m. exactly, there's no indecisional candle that's even really mitigated, right? You've only seen a reversal here, right?
Right.
So again, what I like to look for is, and I would have continued probably to keep selling here. What I like to look for is if you're trying to get real precise entries, if 10 a.m. was right here, right, where was it? 10 a.m. is right here, and you're catching the sells of 10 a.m. It looks like a good selling zone because of obviously what? The Asian range. The Asian range is being established here. But this is again a very small retracement to a guys, what the hell? There we go. It's very small in the grand scheme of things. Does that make sense? Like as a retracement, it's not enough.
Right.
It's not enough. Like,
Okay.
so one thing is with structure, right? You're expecting if there's some sort of, there's always going to be 2 entries in structure. There's going to be that indecision candle, and then there's going to be more of like the safer on the higher time frame, right? The more the order block more candle. A lot of times when I marked up this chart here, I really marked it up towards where? I marked it up towards the higher time frame indecision. Make sense?
Yep.
Why did I do that? The higher time frame indecision. Marked it up on the 10 at the 10-minute candle. The reason I marked it up at the higher time frame indecision was because I am not going to trade any indecision that's under 10 minutes. Even taking a 10-minute indecision to me is something I would never do.
Okay.
Unless you're scalping, you probably made money here on the selling scalp and then it started to turn around. And then you could trade. And what you can do with it, if you really get good, is you could trade on the 1 minute and 5 minute indecision, order block, go back and forth and make a lot of money. It's just, I don't like doing that. Because I get scared in a way. I do, because I like higher time frame indecisions on gold because it wicks so much. So it'll wick 50 pips for no reason in one direction. So what I like to do is go off the highest time frame indecision, go off that. And remember, when it taps out of the Asian range, it needs to come back, retrace in the Asian range, mitigate, and then run and fall down, right? Right here at that 10 a.m. candle, it didn't mitigate or retouch that Asian range area.
Right. Okay. All right. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Got you, boss. Any questions, guys? All
I
right.
got one more, John.
Yep. What's going on?
So today when you took your profits on gold, I guess I just wanted to kind of like get to know what your
What I look for?
yeah, like how did you know that you wanted to take profits at that time?
So one thing that made me want to take a lot of profits was once I saw this impulse move, right? I was like, okay, why did price slow down here a little bit too much, right? And we were past 1 and 2 o'clock. Usually that means we're going back into session and we're going to retrace, right? Remember institutional times in that chapter? But the biggest thing was the 4 hour. I didn't like how the 4 hour closed. I wanted to see that 4 hour candle close right here. This one at 2 o'clock close below this previous 4 hour candle low. Make sense? Because
Yeah.
if it had, that would have been like, oh my God, I'm gonna make like 30 grand on this trade. Then I would have waited for an indecision to come back here and I would have just held it and then boom, quick 15 bands, you know?
Yeah.
So because of that, I just didn't. Like I was like, okay, like, this is like, and now it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. This thing's gonna retrace. It's gonna go into the Asian range, and then whatever. I'm like, you know what? Today I'm not gonna swing it. Today I'm just gonna take 4 or 5 grand, whatever. And then tomorrow I'm gonna wait for either a correction here. Again, it might come back up, or just an area here or breakdown here, come back in, and then risk again, and then wait for it to drop down to this area. Make sense?
Yep. Thank you. I
But
appreciate it.
I took it out because I looked at the higher time frame. Remember, I always make decisions based off the 4 hour. Always. I always make decisions based off the 4 hour. So if I see it, I'm like, I don't really like how the 4 hour looks. And if I have hesitance and I'm like, okay, I don't really like how the 4 hour looks, like I'll just take it out. I'm like, let me just leave.
Makes sense. All right. Yeah. So the 4 hours is really a big determining factor for you in this case. Thanks, man.
Anybody else have any other questions? No questions at all? Okay. All right, guys. Let me know again if you guys have any questions, anything you guys need at all. All you got to do is message us in the chat. We'll be able to answer them. But I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. And I will talk to y'all soon. Have a good one, guys. Peace.